how I've taken a couple of wreaths. These are just plain greenery, everyday wreaths. This one is a boxwood. It's a pre-made, inexpensive wreath. Just a plain plastic boxwood. This is a grapevine wreath that I made and added greenery to in a bow. I want to show you how you can change out your bows and have different seasonal wreaths without having to buy a whole new wreath. So what I do is I normally get a good size estimate of what my wreath is. This looks like it's about a 16-inch diameter wreath, okay? So what I'm going to do is make a patriotic bow for it. When I make my bows, and I sell bow kits, I use 6 different colors or coordinating ribbons. 6 different ones give me a good variety, and it also adds depth and texture to the wreath. So what I'm going to do is start off with a 2.5 inch. Since this wreath is relatively small, I think a 4-inch ribbon, this is a 4-inch ribbon, would be too overwhelming. So I'm not going to use 4-inch. I'm going to stick with 2.5 and 1.5. Okay? So what I do is I pick out a ribbon and I'm going to start a base. I usually make my tails 12 inches because you can always make them shorter, but you can't make them longer. So a 12-inch tail, I'm going to do a pinch, a twist, and then I'm going to put it in my bow maker. Now I do have arthritis in my hands, so I use a bow maker. A lot of people do their bows by hand. They come out beautiful either way, doesn't matter. I'm going to make a 6-inch loop. So we're going to put that in there. We're going to pinch it. We're going to twist it. Okay, make a 6-inch on this side. Pinch it. And since we're only putting in 2 loops, we're not going to twist it. Okay? We're just going to go ahead and move it up. What we're doing is making a simple bow. This is a simple cross. You see that it makes an X. If you don't like your colors being on the different side, you can twist it. Just twist the whole thing around. Let me get in there. Okay. And now you have your stars and stripes on the same side on all 4 edges. And we're just going to cut this off. Okay. So now I'm going to go in with another design. Like I said, these are left over from my wreath kits. In my wreath kits, I will give you 6 different ribbons, 5 yards each. Now that's enough to do tails and a large bow for a wreath, or for you to do a couple of large bows, or a large bow and 2 mediums. Okay? So we're going to take this, and this time we're going to start from the opposite end. We're going to pinch and twist. Put that in our bow. Here we go. Now this time when we do our loop, we're going to do our loop about 2 fingers shorter, or about 1 inch shorter than the one underneath it. Pinch, twist, and loop. Okay? A 1/2 inch to 1 inch. And what that does is allows your ribbons to show what's underneath. You want to keep progressively getting smaller and smaller as you go, so that the ribbons underneath will show through. Okay? Again, since we're only doing one loop on each side, we're not going to twist this last piece. And we're just going to leave it. All right. So next we're going to come in, and I'm going to use this gorgeous little watercolor, or tie-dye looking. And we're going to repeat what we did with the first one. We're going to put it on here. We're going to gather it or pinch it, and twist it, and put it down. Again, we're going to make our loop smaller than the one before. So we're going to come in a little bit, pinch it down, and twist it. There you go. Take this one up. Pinch it. Let's check and see how our loops are doing. They're doing good. And then we're going to move this one up to the top so we don't twist it. Okay. Here we go. Now the reason I use 6 bows is because I'm a little OCD. I want to have 3 tails on each side. If I have lopsided tails, it makes me crazy. Okay, so now we're going to use a plaid. Again, you see how all the colors are coordinating? The reds, the blues, and the whites, they're all coordinating, but we're using different patterns and textures. That's fine. Don't be afraid to do that. So we're going to pinch, twist, start at the top. Twist it. And then come on down. Oh, we could probably get another out of that. Here I'm using one with glitter, again, just to get some different texture. And pinch, twist, put it down in my bow maker, loop it, make it smaller than the one behind it. And then go upwards with it. Okay. You following me so far? And then here's my last ribbon. And what I did was I selected one that kind of went with the bottom one to help bring that flag colors and that flag pattern to the top. So we're going to pinch it, twist it, make our loop, pinch and twist, make our loop, and then we're going to come on down. Okay, that gives us our 6 tails. And that's how our bow looks on the bow maker. Now, at this point, if I have to go fix dinner or I have to go let the dog out, I can walk away. My bow's not going to go anywhere. That's why I love the bow maker. Okay, now, to take my bow off, I'm going to turn it sideways. I put my thumb on the top. You see? I put my thumb up on the top. And then I will work all my ribbons up towards my thumb, keeping them firm, but not squeezing them too tight so that they go out of order. You want to keep your stack nice and neat. Do you see how my stack is neat? You don't want to lose your stack. So you put your twist tie in, or a zip tie in. Flip it over, and keeping that stack compressed, you're going to tighten your zip tie. Okay? And then I flip it over, and I make sure that all my ribbons are in order. Nothing's folded over. Everything's in the right place. And then I cinch it down. And when I cinch it down, I want my buckle, the buckle, to be at the bottom of my bow. That way, I don't have to worry about it scratching a door or a mailbox. Let me get it down there. And as I tighten it, it automatically moves down. And you know you have it tight enough when you're... See how my ribbons have started to pop up on their own? That's when you know you have it tight enough. Get that good and tight. Flip it over and cut my buckle, or cut the zip tie off. I straighten out my bows. Now, there's no sense in fluffing everything, but I just want to make sure that everything is in the place it's supposed to be, going where it should be, and all that good stuff, okay? Then I take a pipe cleaner. Let me use a red one. Take a pipe cleaner, and I'm going to put it over the zip tie. And what that does is kind of hides, see how it kind of hides the internal workings of that zip tie. And then I'm going to twist it. Okay? Now with pre-made bows, or pre-made wreaths, they have a hanger already on them. So if you flip it over, you can see on the back, it has a little hanger. No wreath hanger I know of is going to fit in that hole. So I always put a Chanel stem on it. And that does two things. It marks the top for me while I'm working on it. But it also gives the customer the option to use a bigger loop to hang her wreath, okay? They can cut it off or they can use it, it's up to them. What I do is I then take my bow and I will feed it down to either side of that pre-made hanger. And I will try to get it in between all the greenery. Okay? So we're going to try and get it between the greenery. at this point you can turn it over. We haven't fluffed our bow yet, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to pull that twist tie tight. Now I'm going to leave a little length on this since I am designing this specifically to be an interchangeable wreath. I want my customer to have enough extra twist tie to untie and replace this bow when she wants to. Depending on how often you change your bow, you could probably reuse this bow. Okay, now we're going to pull all our tails and make sure they're pointing in the right direction. We want to make sure everything is laying where it should be. Now, if your ribbons don't lay the way you want them to, you can always put a dot of hot glue up here underneath the bow to make the tails fall the way you want them to, okay? So now I'm going to trim the top, and before I trim it, I want to make sure that all my bows are fluffed out. Go. All right. Now when I trim to keep it in an oval. I want to make sure that my tails make that connection between these two bows. I don't want them way out here like this, that's too long. But I also don't want them down here, that's too short. So what I try to do is arc them or put them in a semicircle so that it follows the pattern of the So I start with the underneath ones and I'll make them so that they're the same length as the loop. And then as I go through, I will make the upper layers just a little shorter. Again, just making sure that I keep my, what does my coach call it? Oh, line of sight. I'm going to keep my line of sight. Okay. Now on this one, if you can see, this one's a little too long. Can you see how it sticks out a little too much? So we're just going to trim that down just a hair. There we go. All right. So now, can you see how those bottom tails, or the top tails, follow the arc of the bow? Okay. Now we go to the bottom. Now I always, like I said, 12-inch tails. I leave my tails long. My customers, if they want to cut them shorter, they're quite welcome to. All you do is fold it in half and cut from the wire side up to the center, and that makes your dovetail. Again, fold it in half, cut from the wire up to the center. I make them all different lengths. Excuse me. Here we go. Up from the center. There we go. Okay, so now we've taken a box store pre-made wreath. It's all plastic. There's no Yahoo, no fancy stuff to it. It's just a simple boxwood wreath. And we put on our very own bow that we've made. And we've also made it so that each season we can change our bow and make our wreath a different season as it goes without having to restore 5 or 6 wreaths. Okay? This will probably last a season. I don't know if it will last all summer, but we can try it and run a test and see. But there you go. Again, I sell the ribbon in kits. They're already matching, coordinating ribbons, so you don't have to worry about coordinating a ribbon. It's already done for you. 6 ribbons, 5 yards each. If you're interested, please go visit my page. If you have any questions or want to see something else made, please feel free to leave a comment, and I'll be more than happy to help you. Thanks, everyone. Nice to meet you, and you all have a lovely day. Bye-bye.